Well, the floodwaters receded more than a month ago in southern Alberta, but the rebuilding process has barely begun for many people. As residents pick up the pieces of their damaged properties, frustration is growing over just who qualifies for government help. Francis Silvaggio reports.
5 weeks after flooding devastated southern Alberta, the water may be gone, but for many, the anguish remains.
I can't constantly bring my kids back to this place.
But Miguel Rodriguez and other residents of this High River neighborhood may have few other choices. Despite the fact that nearly every home in this subdivision has been condemned, provincial rules say they must rebuild.
We're not in the floodplain, so we don't have a choice. We are just going to have to, well, they want us to just accept what they're doing, putting a Band-Aid on a problem, and pretty much let us live with it.
A recently announced provincial plan classified at-risk homes as those being on the flood fringe or directly in the flood zone. This neighborhood, though, was never meant to flood. Instead, it was sacrificed to help divert water away from other communities. That means the province will help residents clean up, even though homeowners doubt there's much worth even saving.
All they are doing, as far as I know, is they're going to gut it. So they're going to rip your house apart and then say, here you go, fix it yourself.
Our floors are caving in, the houses are on angles. I mean, if we can see that, how can the government not see that?
However many you think.
In other communities, some residents are still trying to determine if they even qualify for help. In Canmore, damage was technically not caused by flooding, but rather erosion as Cougar Creek washed away foundations.
It's the only property I own, so, for me to walk away from this would be, my 15, 18 years of living in Canmore, all that equity would be washed down the creek, per se.
The MLA for Canmore is urging his own government to be flexible.
It can't be a rigid policy that one size fits all, because the truth is each and every one of these circumstances is totally different.
But there are already hints flexibility may not be possible.
I sympathize with them, right? But I think when we come up with provincial policies, they have to match the entire province, not just one particular community.
Alberta's premier is lobbying for a national disaster strategy.
We want to make sure that the federal government understands that they have a responsibility to work with us to share the cost with respect to natural disaster mitigation.
If successful, the premier's plan could help prevent similar disasters in the future, but flood victims are more concerned about the help they need right now.
Here we are. In their own backyard, you have a disaster that nobody asked for, and we're just leaving. That's what we're left with.
Francis Silvaggio, Global News.